we'll get cracking. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. I'll start off with roll call. Sergeant Duarte, President.
Stephanie MacArthur, Recording Secretary.
Helen Rigo.
Charlie Denby.
John Lapointe.
Can we get a motion to approve the minutes from last month, April 17th?
Motion to approve.
The engineer department found no issues for this curb cut. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any opposed? None. .311 Pine Street. Again, engineer department reviewed, found no issues. Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any opposed? None. This was tabled from last month. Is there a motion to drop
Motion
this?
to deny.
Second.
Seconded by Charlie. Any opposed?
Nope.
Denied. Miscellaneous requests. 822 Eastern Ave. Okay. You can sit there or come down to the table. It's up to you.
Stay right here.
Just give us a second. Request for citizens, no parking in between signs placed on 822 Eastern Ave. Request is due to accessibility issues to the driveway.
They park right up to their driveway.
Yeah, I've visited this, location many times.
They need signs.
It is a consistent problem.
If I may, it's not just a problem for the big trucks. Anybody coming in and out, Eastern Ave is very busy, but they park right on top that. It's very hard to swing it in
Yeah.
and out, even with a car.
Yeah.
We've almost had severe accidents with people trying to get out of the driveway with the oncoming traffic because you can't see it.
Does any other board member have any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Seconded by Charlie. Any opposed? Seeing none. Passes. It'll be about up to like 12 weeks for the signs to get finalized and put in place, okay?
Thank you so much.
Creative Artworks.
I think it's the table for next month.
Yeah, they're not here.
Oh, they are gonna be tabled?
Mm-hmm.
Just double checking. No one from Creative Art Network?
No, we'll table that for next month.
Motion to table?
Motion to table.
Seconded by Charlie. Any opposed? None. Tabled. 935 Robeson. 935 Robeson Street. Motion to table?
Motion to table.
Motion by John. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Helen. Any opposed?
This is the first time for them, right?
Yes. 935 Robeson will be tabled till next month.
Oh, that's this one here?
All right, we have two that were tabled from last month. If the board remembers, we had 607 3rd Street and 34 Eddy Street. Do I have the residents here from 607 3rd? 607 3rd and 34 Eddy. Okay, the issue on hand here was obviously we know the disqualifiers for handicap spaces, one of them being if you do have a driveway, that typically is a non-starter. However, they both came here and they made their case, they brought pictures, and we had tabled it, so I had at least the opportunity to go out to the address and take a look at the driveways. I have done so. I don't know if any other members have. Based on what I've seen, well, first off, right, with the Eddy Street one, I agree, and based on the photos, that was pretty clear cut. You can't open both the driver's side and passenger side's door while that vehicle. So that is kind of a no-brainer for me. I do understand where we are as far as the driveways, but there are circumstances where allowances can be made. So, and it follows suit for 607 Third. It is a little bit wider than the Eddy Street one. However, that one was wheelchair bound, correct? That right there makes that one inaccessible as well. And I don't expect any for either the, my recommendation that these both pass, but it is up for the board. If you have any questions for either the residents or myself, please fire away. If not, I'll take any motion we have.
Motion accept.
I second.
This would be for both?
Vote.
607 Third and 34 Eddy?
Yes.
Correct.
Both of them?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Vote.
Seeing none. Okay, Third Street and Eddy Street, any questions? Like I said, I needed them, the tabling, just so I can get out there and view the properties. A lot of times, people will say, you know, oh, it's too tight, but in all reality, it's definitely doable. You both happen to have pretty narrow driveways, and the circumstances fit, so there are exceptions, okay? Again, give it like 12 weeks for everything to be said and done and put in place, okay?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, 86 Palmer Street. Hello. How long have you been on Palmer Street? 3 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Okay. See no issues with this. Is there a motion on the table?
Motion accept.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any opposed? Seeing none. All set, ma'am.
All set?
Yes. Again, same thing, about 12 weeks and it'll be all up, okay? 754 Penn Street. Hello. Okay. All right, sir, are you related to the applicant?
Yeah, the petition's for my daughter.
Yep.
Back in November, she had a devastating stroke. She's not 100% wheelchair bound, but for her to walk from me to you would take her 5 minutes.
Sure.
So we're just trying to get a place in front of the house to make it easier for her and
Some of them do with this board, they've been there long before I've been here. Some of them are, if you do have off-street parking, you know what I mean? If you have that,
Yep.
that's one of them. Another one of them being is if the handicapped individual doesn't drive,
She doesn't drive.
right? She doesn't have a license. So essentially,
I,
then essentially there's no need for them to, being that if the applicant doesn't drive, then essentially there's no need for them to have that handicap spot, okay? So if he is my partner and he has the handicap spot, I'm the caretaker, I'm the driver, I certainly don't need to park my car in front of the house taking up essentially prime real, not prime, but important real estate, because parking is a high commodity within the city, because he's not using it regularly. Now, one's gonna say, oh, well, I have to bring him to and from places. And you're right, that you would have to do that. But because he's not the driver, what is to be expected is that I would come around the block, pull up quickly, assist him into the car, and then take off. It doesn't have to be readily available in front of the house for him to come in and out shortly. They're saying essentially you would be parking and have to go for a little bit longer of a walk to get into the house because you're capable. And if you were dropping your daughter off, I understand she has a hard time walking long distances, you'd pull up in front of the house and let her out.
So she's gonna sit in a wheelchair on the sidewalk, waiting for her husband to come back to bring it to the house to try to get her back in the house.
Again, sir, I completely understand. I've heard this several times, and when these stipulations were put in place, I had no voice in them. I couldn't tell you even how long ago they were there. But these are just some of the, for instance, a child, they're not going to have a license, but that's an automatic one that is granted. You know what I mean? There's always some sort of exception to the rules, but based on it being an adult, typically that's a non-starter for this, okay? We have your packet. I'm gonna let the board review it, be able to ask you some questions, or if you have questions of us, feel free to fire away, and then we'll make a ruling, okay? Any questions?
No?
Does any board member have any questions for this gentleman while he's here?
I have no questions.
Is there a motion on the table?
Motion to deny.
Motion to deny. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by John. Any opposed? None. So, sir, like I explained, okay, at this point, barring any other circumstances, it would be a decline.
So is there an appeal process, or is this like this is final judgment?
No, this is just, for this traffic meeting, this application is being denied. I mean, you can appeal anything,
You can,
you know what I
No,
mean?
so that's
He
what I'm
can
asking,
apply
what
in
is the
90
appeal
days.
process?
Yep.
you can reapply in 90 days. After 90 days, you can do a reapplication to the board.
So unless she
Essentially,
gets,
it would come to the board.
unless she gets her license back, she is being denied a spot.
At this meeting, correct.
Well, even moving forward, so in 90 days, if we appeal it and re-petition, and you say, did she get a driver's license back?
Unless there was some other
And if
extenuating
the
circumstance.
situation gets even worse, she'll be denied again because she doesn't drive.
Well,
that
it would
my
depend on
understanding?
what you mean by the situation getting worse. If there is another extenuating circumstance other than the fact that those craziest epileptic seizures and they fall flat on their face where they have to constantly be supported by another party, I would say that's an extenuating circumstance. I wouldn't tell someone, hey, stand on the curb, I'll be back in 9 seconds because I know you fall into a fit in 10. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by an extenuating circumstance, sir. I don't know the diagnosis.
She lives on the third floor?
Yes, she does.
How does she get around? Must be great difficulty.
It takes her 20 minutes to walk up 2 flights of stairs.
Can imagine.
It takes her 20 minutes to walk down 2 flights of stairs.
Can imagine.
And in between, she has to sit and rest coming down the stairs. Then when she finally gets to the sidewalk, she has to sit in a wheelchair. Her husband has to wheel her to the vehicle,
Right.
wherever he is parked. It could be up the street, depending on whether or not there's a parking place closer to the house.
Yep.
That's how she gets around.
I hope you can
She does
appreciate.
have a driver's license. Right now, she just doesn't drive.
Mhm. If it was suspended due to the doctor's recommendation, again, I don't know, nor is it my business.
Right,
what
I
the
don't know what she filled out on the application for that, but that.
better off than what she actually is, you know. I'm not saying for her to go and plead to the doctor that she's better off than what she actually is, you know. I'm just simply stating different avenues, okay? We are all very sympathetic and empathetic to every member that comes in here asking for these spaces. I just try to be as even Yeah, well, at this point, it was,
It'd be a waste of time.
yeah, well, at this point, it was,
It'd be a waste of time.
yeah, well, at this point, it was denied, sir, okay?
If their health improves,
Health,
if
I
their
can,
health
I can
improves,
honestly tell.
reapply in 90 days.
Right, if her health improves, then she doesn't need it. The odds of her health improving from, according to the doctors, are slim to none. What she was able to accomplish in the first 3 months, 5 months, whatever time period is nothing
That's it?
short of a miracle.
That's it?
Because she was not expected to ever get out of bed again.
Oh.
So, yeah, this is what she is the rest of her life, so. Well, all right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
She had a question.
311 was approved, does that mean the permit's all set?
311,
Pine Street.
did we get to Pine Street yet?
That was second on the list.
Oh, that's a curb cut. Yep,
Yeah.
you're all set.
We're all
Yeah,
set?
yep.
Thank you.
We can start digging. Okay, thank you.
Well, there's a few other processes that it has
Yeah.
to go through. It still has to go to council and all that, but they'll be in touch with you. Okay? You're welcome.
621 Third Street.
No, you forgot.
Did I miss one?
349 Jenks.
Oops, sorry. Stand by. 349 Jenks. 349 Jenks.
We're doing that now.
No, he's doing Third Street now.
We're doing Jenks.
Thanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
See no issues with this.
Signs on it, yeah.
There was somebody here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I have no issues with this application. Is there a motion on the floor?
motion approved.
Second.
Second by Charlie. Any opposed?
Good.
Seeing none. Give it about 12 weeks, okay?
All right, thank you.
621 Third. Okay.
No one here.
See no issues here. Is there a motion on the table?
Motion's approved.
Motion to approve by Helen?
Second.
Seconded by John. Any opposed? Seeing none. All set. Same thing about 12 weeks before it's all said and done, okay? 16 Russell Street. 16 Russell.
Motion to table.
Motion to table by Helen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by John. Any opposed? Tabled. 1647 Robeson. Hello.
Hi.
Did you know about this one?
No parking lot there. Is that right next to the
No,
variety store?
That it was removed just recently?
Yeah, so the variety store is
We have
on this
nothing on
corner,
it.
we're on the
But
other
it is an
corner.
active church?
Yep.
But our main entrance is actually
It's
like
an
on
active
Nichols
church.
Street.
But we had
Even though our address is Robeson, the entrance that we used to go in and out is on Nichols.
Was that where the signs were?
So it should
Yeah,
be a
so
problem.
the signs were there, and then one day we showed up for a meeting, and I was like, something's missing here, and then I'm like, wait, I parked right up front, where's the handicap signs? So when I called, I was told that someone had called and said the church was closed. We've been there since 2012, and we're there pretty often, so I'm like, I don't know who called, whatever. So she said, the lady I spoke to said, regardless, like, when you open a new business, you're supposed to apply. I just recently took over doing the paperwork, so I didn't know that. So I applied, and then I actually had called, like, a week later, and, she said, oh yeah, it's processing, give it about a week. So I'm like, oh, okay, great, And then literally 2 days ago, I get a text from, someone at one of the elders, and they're like, look at what I got in the mail, and I'm like, you realize that's Wednesday, right? Like, so I didn't realize like that there was a whole process. But
Yeah,
here
that
I
definitely.
am.
So if your church, if your congregation there was to close up and move to somewhere else, and
Yeah.
a bakery came there, let's say,
Yeah.
technically those signs were allotted to that congregation, not
Right.
just to that section of the road.
Right.
They would be removed and shut down again, and the bakery would have to go through the
Right.
whole application again.
Okay.
Because it was originally there for this type of purpose, I don't see an issue having them reinstated. All set?
Thank you.
66 Pittman Street. Hello.
I have with me the new placard, and I have, the medication that I take for my back.
Yep, all set. See no issues here. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any opposed?
I'll take a copy of that placard as well.
Sure.
Any opposed? None? All set, sir. 12 weeks.
Thank you.
592 Walnut.
Oh, why don't we?
Okay, on behalf of Mr. Madeira's wife has dementia, and she's hydrocephalic, which is water on the brain that's causing pressure on the dementia. She just had her car. Wait, I took pictures, if you wanna see, of both sides of the car on Walnut Street, from one side and the other side, so that he just can't open the doors.
How does he get in there?
He doesn't, I mean, he just put the car in to show that the doors can't open.
Is he still in the car?
No, he was in the car when we took the picture.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
And then he got out. But, so the problem is, she is not driving any longer, obviously, but he cannot leave her out and go go down and park the car, because she has dementia, and she can't stand alone now. But she also wanders.
Strays, right,
So
right,
he
right, right.
can't do anything. His daughter is in Philadelphia, she's an attorney in Philadelphia, and she couldn't be here and asked that I come with her dad.
Does he have a handicap card?
He does not, his wife does. She did send me a picture of that as well, cause I asked her for it. Do you need to see it, Helen? That's
No.
her handicap.
She got a card.
Oh,
I
you
have it on
got it?
file, yep.
Okay. So, and he's quite nervous and has gone through a lot with her having surgery. She's right now at Kimwell and hoping to be discharged sometime this week or next.
We gotta go out there and see it.
Yeah, I find this interesting.
What did you do? You lived there 47 years?
He's been in that house for.
What did he do before? Did he park the car in the yard?
He never parked in the yard, he could never fit, but
Yeah.
they were both healthy enough to
Right.
park the car and
Right.
walk.
It's a three-family, they're the only ones that would, or does anyone use that driveway?
No, nobody can.
It's never utilized.
No, it's never, he just, you know, cemented it to make it look nice and.
What was it prior to the cementing?
Pardon?
What was it prior to cementing, do you know? Was it grass?
Tu ao lado, agora tem cimento, mas era a erva ou a erva lá? Sempre era cimento? No, he always had it as cement.
Okay. Well, my recommendation to the board is same as, follow suit what we did last month, okay? When we have some images showing how tight it is, I would like the chance to get out there, verify for myself, and indeed, if it is that way, I would, make this similar recommendation that,
We'll
even
go
though it
look at
is
it.
off-street parking,
That's fine.
it has to be,
And
ruled
that's
that
why
way.
I took the picture so that he wouldn't have to go, but if you wanna go, by all means.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures in here. Someone showed King Kong standing in his driveway. Didn't actually mean he was there.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh,
So,
he said it's a motorcycle driveway, that's all that can really.
Sure, yeah, no, I
Não
get
vai
it.
lá pra ver. A gente tem superfície pra jogar lá.
Just to stay in the spirit of fairness with the other ones that we have done this, you know what I mean? I'll table it for the 30
Does he
days.
have to return, or will he get a letter after you've looked at it?
He's gotta come back next month.
Okay.
Come back
Yeah.
next month.
I'll make a motion, table to next month, so
Yeah.
Sergeant Duai.
That It's gonna be back on
Yeah.
next month's agenda.
Yeah, vai ver pra mim. Eu só vai ir lá pra ver o driveway, não é e aí depois vem pra trás, a gente. Okay,
All right?
thank you.
Thank you. Request from the Parks and Recreation for handicap parking space.
For the
Yeah, she
table?
Did, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Dumont Field and Russell Brogan. This request is for anyone attending baseball. It's all, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I have no issues with this. They're only requesting one?
2 spaces.
2 spaces. Does anyone have any issues with 2 spaces being put on?
No,
No
motion to
issues.
approve.
Motion to approve by Helen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Charlie. Any opposed? None. And there are no handicap spots to rescind. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Second.
Second. Any opposed? None. We are done. Thank you.